Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 230, kth smallest element in a BST or the binary search tree. Right. So what the question states here, we are given the root of the binary search tree. You can clearly see here in the example we have been given the root of the binary search tree and an integer k and an integer k consists of the integer 1 here, right, for the first example. So we are given the root of the binary search tree BST and an integer k. We have to return the kth smallest element, and kth smallest element, when they have mentioned, it is 1 indexed, it is not 0 indexed. K equals 1 means we have to return the smallest element in the root. We have to return the smallest element that is present in the root, right? So here 1 2 3 4 we have, you can clearly see here by looking at it, 3 1 4 null 2, this is fine, but the values we have has 1 2 3 4 here. And you can just this one, you have to take the smallest element, nothing but here 1, because k we have been given 1, the first smallest element. We have 4 elements. First smallest element is 1, second smallest is 2, third smallest is 3, and the fourth smallest is 4. Quite obviously k we have been given 1 and we have to take 1, right? So we have to return 1, sorry, yeah. So same goes with the second example as well, man. Same goes with the second example as well, right? So here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, basically 1 2 3 4 5 6. K we have been given 3, and I'm strictly saying this one, this is 1 index, not the 0 index. Don't get confused, because if you consider 0 indexed k equals 3, when we give k equals 3, it would be 4. We have to return 4, right? So here in this case, k we have been given 3 and output we have is 3. Output we have is 3 here, because it is 1 indexed and we are considering 3 here in this case, right? So here we have 1 2 3 3 3, this one we have to consider, right? So just give me a second here in this case. So we have to return 3, we have to return 3, right? So this is fine, man. Just give me a second, 1 second, let me opt different color, man. So this is fine. Yeah, let's come to the third example. We don't have the third example, right? So we have only two examples here. So this is basically the question. And also one more thing I want to tell you here is this one, binary search tree property. Here basically this ensures for every node, values in the left subtree is less than node, and also less than value in the right subtree. I meant to say here, see, binary search tree property, we no, we have already solved the problems on binary search tree, right? Here in this case, this is node or the root. So for node, let's consider this one node, the left subtree value has to be smaller. Here this one, here this has to, 1 is smaller than 3, right? So the left subtree value has to be smaller, and the right subtree, this one, this value has to be greater. This has to be greater than the node, right? So greater than the node here. So here 1 is smaller than 3 and 4 is greater than 3. So 4 is greater than 3. And here also we have 2. We have null here. We don't have any value. So let's ignore, and 2. This is not a balanced binary search tree. So here in this case we have 2. We have 2 and the right subtree value should always be greater than the node. So here 2 is greater than 1. So this is binary search tree, but not the balanced binary search tree, right? Because we have null here and this side also we don't have value, right? Null we have. So this is not the balanced binary search tree, but this is the binary search tree. This is quite obviously binary search tree, right? So we know this. So here, I hope the question part is completely clear, man. I hope the question part is completely clear. So they have given us wonderful examples just for the sake of understanding, right? So they have given us wonderful examples just for the sake of understanding. Now let's discuss the approach followed by the edge cases one by one, and uh, not the edge cases, sorry. Let's discuss the approach followed by the complexities, and then let's write the code. And then let's write the code. Edge cases they have given via examples itself. So you can discuss the edge cases in detail as well, but I'll be going with the approach complexities and then let's write the code, right? So it makes more sense basically. So we don't have to go that depth, right? So discussing all the edge cases one by one, it will take a lot of time. So here in this case, let's consider first example, man. This first example itself I'll consider for the approach. Just give me a second, 1 second. Yeah, we are having 314 null to k equals 1 they have given, and the output that we need to get here is 1. First, we'll be making use of in order traversal here. We will be going with the in order traversal. So we have already discussed about the in order, pre-order and the post order traversal. So if you remember, in order traversal, I'll just write T here for the traversal. In order traversal follows the order left node and right. Left node and right. Left node and right means first we will be considering this one left, second we will be considering node, and third we will be considering right. So in this way, starts from left, then node and right, right? So left, node and right. So we'll be going with the in order traversal, and in order traversal is of the order left, node and right, right? So here the first step, just give me a second here. Yeah, the first step here is we will start at 3. We will start at 3 basically. We'll start at 3, right? So we'll start because this is the route we have, right? So we'll start at 3. We'll go to left. We'll go to left. First thing is left. We will go to left here, right? Left is basically null. From 1 means, so we'll start at 3 means this is actually root I wanted to say, right? So we will consider 1 first. We'll consider 1 first. So here in this case, we'll consider 1. Left is null. Left is null, right? So left is null here. We don't have anything here. Left is null, right? So we will process 1. Nothing but count is 1 here. We'll process 1 and the count is 1, right? So since count is equivalent to k, we will return 1 directly. So we will return 1 directly. So first left we have to consider, right? So we are going with the in order traversal. So this part we will be going. So we have 3, 1, and this one, this side we don't have anything. This is null. So what we will do, first we'll consider 3. So this is root. We'll just consider 3, this one, but we have to go with left, node and right. So first this part we will consider. We will ignore the 3. We'll consider this part. And here we have the left side. So left side is null. Null and 1 we have. Null and 1 we have. We will process 1, and 1 is equivalent to k. 1 is equivalent to k value, right? So k we have been given 1 here. K we have been given 1, and we have got 1 here as well. 1 is equivalent to 1. So we will stop here itself and return 1 as output. And we will return 1 as output because this is 1 indexed. Because this is 1 indexed, we have to return the first smallest element here, right? So this is what we'll be doing. Again, we are making use of the in order traversal. Here we have got this one in the first step itself, output, right? So in order traversal gives the sorted order always, right? In order traversal gives the sorted order always. So we will just stop at the kth node in that particular order. That particular order. Here we have got the output at the first step itself. I insist you to try out with the second example. I will not be going with the second example. I insist you to try out with the second example. This one, just give me a second here. This one, I insist you to try out with the second example so that you understand things better, right? So this is it for the approach part. Now, as we are completely familiar with the approach, let's discuss the complexities part quickly, right? So the time complexity, the time complexity would be big of h plus k. Big of h plus k. You can also consider n plus k here, but I'll just go with big of h plus k. You can ask why it is h plus k, because in the worst case we will visit up to height h, whatever the height it is. In the worst case, as we are going with the in order traversal, right? So we will visit up to height h and k nodes, and k nodes, nothing but h is logarithmic n for the balanced and n for the skewed. That is the reason I have not considered n here. So in the worst case, as it is binary search tree, sorry, we shouldn't consider n. So you might have asked, so this has to be log n plus k. Why we have considered big of h plus k, big of h plus k, rather than big of logarithmic n plus k, as it is binary search tree. So here, that is the reason. In the worst case, we will visit up to height h and k nodes. H is this one. H is, this is logarithmic n for the balanced binary search tree. Here this one is not balanced. Where it is balanced, so here we have got the value null. This is not balanced. Here we don't have the values at all, right? So now we have the values, we don't have the values at all, so we have to consider null. Here if we had values for this one 4, means right and left and right subtree for the 4 and left subtree for the 1, then it would have been balanced tree, right? So for the balanced tree, every time it is not balanced here accordingly with the question they have asked, it is not balanced here, right? So for the balance we have to go with the logarithmic n for the binary search tree and n for the skewed tree, right? So in the worst case we mostly consider the skewed tree in the worst case, right? So we cannot write here n or the log n, right? So it is better to go with h, height of the tree. So the overall time complexity for the code that we'll be writing would be big of h plus k. So what would be the space complexity here? The space complexity would be big of h as well. The space complexity would be big of h because we will be making use of the recursion, right? So we'll be making use of the recursion stack or the recursion in order traversal. So basically we will be going with the in order traversal with the recursion, right? So with the recursion, I'll just write rec here. So this will be the approach we'll be making use of, in order traversal with recursion, right? So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we'll be writing in the future would be big of h plus k and big of h respectively. Now as we are completely familiar with the approach and the complexities, it is good, we are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code. We are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code, right? So here let's do one thing. Yeah, let's do one thing. Let's start writing the code. First we have to keep track of how many nodes we have visited in sorted order, right? For that one, let me go with private in let me initialize the count to 0. Also let me go with private int, so let me initialize the result to -1. This is fine. So the next step is I'll be going with the, so this is get smallest, right? So let's make use of the helper function because we have to perform as we had discussed in the approach, we will be going with the in order traversal with the recursion, right? So let's go with the in order, means let's make use of the helper function in order and then let's make use of it and within the let's make use of it within the main function kth smallest, right? So I'll just come here. mm, let's go with so let me make this one global man rather than declaring here. So I'll just give here. So this is fine. Let me format this one once. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I'll just come out of this main function entirely and let me do one thing. Let's go with the helper function first. So I'll just go with private void. This one will be in order, private void in order. So this one will be tree node, and also this one will be int k. So this is fine. So within the what do we call, within the helper function in order or the helper method in order, here let's go with the base case, nothing but the null node. When the node is null, we don't have to return anything. Here in this case I can just write it on this way: if node equals null, we are comparing, right, with a value. So here then we don't have to return anything. I'll just give return here. This is fine. So the next step is we have to traverse the left subtree, means smaller values. I'll just go with in order. So we just have to traverse left subtree here, right? So this will be node dot left comma k, node dot left comma k. This is fine. So next step, we have to visit the current node as well. This one will be count plus plus. So this is fine. So now if the current node is the kth node, then we have to store the value and stop the further traversal. If the current node is the kth node, then we have to store the value and stop the further traversal. Means I can write in this way: if count equals k, then we have to store the value and stop the further traversal. Means first let's store the value, nothing but here in this case this is result. Let me assign this one to the value of the node. Let me assign this one to the value of the node and let me give return. Let me give return here. So this is fine. So here in this case, the final step is we have to traverse the right subtree as well, nothing but the for the larger values, right? So here let me copy the same thing and make the necessary changes here. We are going with a pure recursion here. This is fine. Let me copy paste the same thing here. This will be, instead of left, this one will be node dot right comma. Okay, so this is it for the what do you call the helper method in order. So let's perform the in order, or let's make use of the helper method within the main method or the main function kth smallest here. Kth smallest here, right? So I'll just go with let me paste the in order here. So we have to start from root. We have to start from root until k. Until k. We are just starting the in order traversal here in this step, and the next step is we have to return the result when k is found. When k is found, we have to return the result. Right. So I'll just go with uh, return. So we are storing this one in the result, right? So initially we have given -1. So I'll just copy the same thing and paste it over here. So this is fine. Let me format this one once. Let me hit the run button. Let me hit the run button. So let me hit the now all the test cases, I mean sample test cases are getting passed, right? So let me hit the submit button quickly. Let me hit the submit button quickly. So yeah, here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case. The code works absolutely correct in this case, right? I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the approach and the complexities. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.